going to the city, to see the falls, and there really isn't shit to do. There's no reason, really, for tourists or anybody that's coming to Niagara Falls to stay here more than a day. Once they drive around out of that little bubble, Paul, they're probably like, well, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yep. Yep, I agree, and I have a lot of respect for Niagara Falls. I like seeing the falls.
Oh, me too, brother. Me too. This is where we grew up. I grew up in Belton Center.
Yeah.
I still live there. It's just but still, it's a rock's throw from the falls. We're lucky, I guess. That we went to Niagara Field, and
I feel lucky. I have such a wonderful sightseeing destination. When I have friends that come in town that have never seen Niagara Falls, I go up there with them, of course. It's one of the first places I go to, But you're right. When you go outside of that bubble, that tourist area, you're right. I know that it gets a little bit worse. I used to go to the tops up there on Porter Avenue and things of that nature, and you can kind of see some of the conditions. Yeah. I don't know what to say, except the casino, at least around the casino they have there, that's a decent location. They keep that up well, the Indian casino and such. So
yeah, as long as you don't go a block, what is it, north of the casino, 1 block. Well, okay, I'm done. Complaining about Niagara Falls. I guess where we're going, with this is, if you do bad things, obviously the police are going to watch you. Or if you now, in New York State, if you do bad things, as long as it's not, something that's causing someone some physical harm, maybe even physical harm now. You get an appearance ticket. You have to, show up to show up. Yes, I'm sure that every degenerate out there, criminal, is going to. I just had my truck stolen. And if they would have caught the guy, they would have given him an appearance ticket anyway. So what difference does it make? I don't even know why the cops want to chase people, do anything. Not only that, but who knows? Maybe they'll turn around and shoot at the cop.
Yep.
It's a shame to think like
they're
that.
They're leaving dangerous people out on the streets.
Yes.
What they're doing.
Yep. And Paul, it was great hearing your dogs. I've had a couple of requests here for you for something, so hopefully we'll.
Listen, Kevin Hutchinson, just said people are getting robbed even in the bubble area now, and he's right, but we can't talk about that because then the big bad white racist guys are talking about it was confirmed that 6 blacks robbed an elderly couple or something like that. And I'm sure that there's white degenerates, there's brown degenerates, there's black degenerates. Right. There's all kinds of degenerates. Unfortunately, they all meet in Niagara Falls.
Well, something, as you take away from your first line of protection, which is your police force, if you keep on degrading them, defunding them, or anything of that nature, you think it's going to get better? You're as nutty as a friggin'.
Is that not true? And I hate to say it, but true criminal thinking, or unfortunately, Paul, leftist thinking. You know it.
Yep, sure thing.
I know. Again, all of my friends may be a little bit different. But they're all thinking the same thing, that maybe any, good gun owner has, okay, well, let crime happen. What's going to happen? We're going to shoot them. They need the police. They need,
I know.
They need the police. It's not like the old Western days, where, okay, we're going to go out and do what you want when you want. No matter how you look at it, there is an overabundance of, I guess, white gun owners, and now, and this leads me back to that black militia. Now, we're not allowed to talk about the Klan or anything like that because they are a hate group. But this black militia now that is up and and coming around that everybody's talking about, they're welcome. They're just out there trying to be I'm biting my tongue, a black protection group. What do you think is going to happen? I don't understand the logic of these people in the towns. No matter where they're going with this, all it's going to do is lead to, I guess, and I hope that it doesn't happen, a race war or something along those lines where people are going to get hurt.
Yep, It could very well happen.
And it sucks, and everybody's wants to bite their tongue or not talk about it, because then you're the big bad racist, and you should not talk about that. And all the poor me people that want to jump on the sides and say all the cops are bad, and what's that? I laugh because all I see everywhere is all cops are bastard. That's all I see is that that symbol everywhere. Jesus Christ, what are people thinking? If you don't do crime, you won't get in trouble. It's a fact, and I'm sure you've heard this already. And I hate to to bring it up again. It's not stereotyping when you are committing 44% of the crime in the United States. That's not a stereotype. It's not that the cops are watching anybody that's being more bad than others. Growing up, of course, we had, our own run-ins with the police, and guess what? Just like I said last week, we deserved it. So what's you understand what I mean? Quit trying to play this, oh, poor me, I'm being persecuted for being black. Well, if 1 in 3 wasn't committing a crime, unfortunately, and I see Peter's kind of thinking, I can't believe you're saying this.
No, I was fixing I could hear something in the microphones. That's why I had the odd look on my face.
What? Everything I'm saying, is factual. It's not a lie. It's not there's nothing, that's a fallacy to this. Anyways, I'm sorry to ramble on your call, but I appreciate you calling, brother.
Okay. Nice talking to you.
Good to hear from you, Paul.
Cheers. Yep, awesome. Call in anytime you want, brother.
I will. Bye-bye.
All right, cheers.
Yeah, that was just me fixing the microphones here. Because I guess that's why I announced earlier that we have so many shows, is we're constantly configuring again. And tonight we don't have the yo-yo kids in the studio who run the studio because of you and I. So
let's talk about. I was listening to a little bit of your show last night, and you were talking about, and me and you've had this conversation many times, and earlier we had the conversation again. You were saying there's no black representation in city council or anything. Let's just say the predominantly white areas or decision makers. And my answer to you, Peter, and we'll talk about this more, is because white people vote. White people, are the ones out there. We care about everybody besides when there's something bad happening. And unfortunately, I'm going to piss off a couple of people that are listening, or if they replay this or whatever. Excuse me. He's going to keep thinking, he's going back and talking about blacks. Unfortunately, I don't hear a lot of talk about the death rate in Chicago, in Cleveland, in Detroit, in Buffalo, everywhere where there really is black on black crime. That does happen, and it's astounding. And then they're going to say, well, there's white on white crime. No shit, there's white on white crime. But when you break the numbers down and you look at everything, and again, I guess, the numbers are skewed because the crimes that aren't reported and this and that. And of course, I'm talking like Peter there. No, I'm just
yeah, right. But let me rebut, though, to the idea of what I said last night. Was I showed a picture when Kathy Hochul, the corpse, was here. She's really nicely embalmed, though, I have to say. She was here with the leaders of the tourism industry, and you could see everyone in the room. Everyone was social distance. Everyone was white. We look at our city council. We have five councilors. All are white males. And this isn't just a black and white issue. It's anyone of color, and it's women, gender as well. We have one woman in the entire leadership. That's the city clerk, Kathy Ligamari. And I've known Kathy for years.
You forget there was a black man on city council for, 13 years or
something?
Correct.
There have been several who've served. But this is what I'm saying is I come from a society in Canada where you see the representation of the people in a lot of the government situations. And here you don't. You walk in and everything is one color. And in this city, we are not one color. We are a diverse city, and we just don't see it reflected in our leadership. And you may have a point that certain communities come forward when something's wrong, but not when something's right, or they don't. People have different takes on civil responsibility.
I don't know. Someone's calling in.
Hey.
Looks like one of our buddies.
Ooh.
This is the Edge of the Falls. Is this Eastside Dave?
It
Hell, you wish. I pay my garbage bill, and I'm not bitching. I generate garbage.
Listen, you know I like Dave, bro. So that was just a joke.
I do too. I mean, he needs to get some correct information, which is why I'm calling you.
Right. Good.
I was just listening to your discussion. I listened to Dante and him talk last night while I was driving home.
Right.
Now, I got to tell you, okay, black people, I'm sorry, I have to use that term because that's what everybody's using. The dark-skinned people have just as much opportunity to run for council, to apply for jobs. They have just as much. You know what stops them from doing it? The same thing that stops a lot of them from doing anything, the desire to do the work, to put in the work. Dante is an exception. Ezra Scott was an exception. God rest his soul, Bob Anderson was an exception. These were men, Charlie Walker was an exception, that would get out and do the work to get elected to council. Women have the same goddamn opportunity as the dark-skinned people in this city. The only thing lacking is the fucking desire to get out and do something.
You know what?
Get out off your ass and put in the work. Amber Hill put in the work. She was going out doing the rallies, doing the fundraisers and stuff like that. Okay? You want something in this country, get off your lazy ass and fucking earn it like the rest of us do. I'm sick of hearing about white privilege and all this other horse shit. You know something? Nothing was handed to me. I moved here from Ohio in 2001. I came here with shit. I was living in a camper when I came here. Okay? I've earned the 3 houses that I own. I've earned the job that I have through respect and through my experience and everything else. Okay? Wasn't shit handed to me. The only thing that's holding these people back is the freaking desire. You want something, get the fuck up and earn it. Don't expect it to be handed to you.
Listen,
there's only 2 things in this fucking life that are guaranteed, and that's death and taxes.
You're damn straight, brother. It's funny that you know what? This is stuff that needs to be said. Not the little soft,
damn right.
Not the little soft ass rebuttals for everything. But there was white privilege. No, you know what it was. You summed it up. I worked for everything that I have. I everywhere that I am. Guess what? Everybody say the cops are so bad. This and that. Well, I raised my kids not to be fucking assholes, and guess what? The cops don't mess with them.
You know what? What do you see on the fucking news and everything else about the cops? You see the assholes that take off. They don't show all what these cops deal with in an 8-hour shift or a 12-hour shift. The only thing you see are the little crumbs. You see the little bullshit pieces that get people riled up.
Look, the media loves controversy.
People that fit an agenda.
Right, the media loves controversy.
You don't see the good deals. You don't see the cop changing a tire for an elderly lady or shit like that. No.
You're right.
And I listened to Dante talk last night, and they were talking about they want to have a dialogue and get people out of their comfort zone. Sign me up. I will gladly step out of my comfort zone. I will gladly put it out on the table because I don't give a shit what people think of me.
You know what?
I don't. You know what?
I think
I pay my bills, and I don't care. I earn what I get.
Look,
none of this shit's handed to me.
Look, brother, I like Dante, just like you said. I like Dante. I don't dislike anybody unless they deserve it. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if you're black or white or whatever.
That shit.
You can say black, white. He's a racist and his brother. Fuck that shit. I don't care of what anybody does. If people that get to know me already know I have a huge heart. But one thing is, don't step on me. Don't do something that's going to piss me off.
Just like me, you'll help anybody you can until they don't help themselves. If they just sit back and expect you to do it for them, fuck you. You're on your own.
And you know what? Listen, what more do we have to give? Are there bad police? You're fucking right. They're bad police. But now to go out, sneak up on them, kill them, do stuff like that. People think that that's okay.
Nah, that's bullshit, man.
It is.
I don't agree with that one bit. And you know what? I will drive around and watch to make sure when a cop pulls somebody over, I'll sit back and watch, not to record to see if they're abusing somebody, to make sure that they know they've got somebody there watching to make sure that they're safe. There's somebody else out watching out for them. Because you know something? These fucking assholes around here, there's a reason I conceal carry. Because these assholes around here will shoot you faster than they'll ask you your name. They don't give a shit.
Nope, you're right.
They don't care.
You're absolutely right. It's not. But then, then again, we can't say, that there's black on black crime, or that in the cities where the majority of the crimes are happening are majority black, or not even a majority black. That's not the way it is. You know that. It's not that there's a majority.
I hate listening to people talk about black this, white that. When I went to school, we learned American history, not white American history, not black American history. We learned American history. When I went to the Marine Corps, when I went to boot camp, there was light skin and dark skin. We call them light greens and dark greens. Guess what, brother? We all pink in the middle. We all bleed red, and that's still your fucking. There's one term, okay? Homo fucking sapien. That is a human being. It doesn't designate whether it's an African Homo sapien or a fucking Asian Homo. No, you are a goddamn Homo sapien. You just happen to have a darker pigment in your fucking skin. But you know something? Some people try and play the victim. Everybody's got to be a goddamn victim. Quit being a fucking victim and get what you want. Go out and earn it.
And that's
Stop expecting people to hand you shit.
Tim, I want to.
That's the American dream, man.
Yep. Hey, Tim, I want to cut in here and just mention something. When I brought up that everyone's white in these areas, that was not a challenge to the white community. What that is a challenge to the communities of color, that you're not being represented, that you're not visible in the leadership of your nation, of your city, pardon me, and in other areas in the country as well. But that is the responsibility of all citizens. How do we motivate every community to feel that they have a responsibility to address government, to be part of it, to be decision makers? And something I couldn't agree more with you on is something one of my teachers used to say to me, which is, you are not owed a living. You are owed the right to earn a living.
I love it.
You're owed an opportunity. And you know something? There's opportunity everywhere.
It's always been there. It's always been there.
Jobs. There's been people that have had more experience than me that's got a job over me. Was I pissed? Absolutely. When I was in Ohio, there wasn't the opportunity I was looking for. The opportunity in Ohio was a goddamn factory worker. That's great for some people. I wanted more. Therefore, I relocated to New York where I could get the opportunity. If the opportunity's not here that you're looking for, get the fuck out. Go where your opportunity's at.
Bingo.
Yes, it sucks. I'm 350 miles away from all my friends and family, but guess what? I wanted better, and I did what I had to do to get better. I went out, worked, I earned it. I fucking did the work so that way I could have better. You know what? You want better? Get the fuck out. Don't be a victim of your environment. Oh, I can't do it because I live in the hood. Bullshit. That's 100% bullshit. You're the only person holding you back. When you say you can't, you've already beat yourself.
Listen,
these people just don't understand it, and it pisses me off.
I guess you summed it up, brother. When if you look at everything, and not only out of your rosy red glasses, but look at the way things have gone in history. There has been already some reparations made for the wrongdoings that have been going on, and they continue to happen. What more can we do? What more? What more can we do? I didn't own slaves. I don't know a fucking slave. Listen, here I'm going to I'm going to blow everybody's mind now. My best friend, while I was in the Navy, was black. My roommate, that's who we stayed. Jesus Christ, like you said,
dark skin.
Yeah, like you said, dark skin, right? Anyways, I don't know. We're damned if we do. We're damned if we don't. And then
you're goddamn right.
And then there's those people that continue to play the victim. That's why I get on it. That's why I get on it. This whole tyrant. About if you want things to change, guess what? People have to change. Are you seeing why I've said that for years now? The people have to change in Niagara Falls or other cities or wherever. Thinking has to change. Otherwise, we're going to continue to be where we are until Tim, and the worst,
until the culture changes.
Until the bear keeps getting poked, and they really do something happens, breaks off, and we have another civil war.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
No, I'd like to add one other thing to that, though, which is, again, back to government, back to leadership, back to business. is that right now what we've got is a culture of different communities that are shouting from the streets, that are yelling in outrage, that are victims and feel that they're going to continue to be victims. And they're doing it from what they call peaceful protests or non-peaceful protests. We need those people, those voices, to step into roles where they can help make change, make decisions, make change, impact on people, because it's lost where it is right now. It's just
I'm sure
shouting
that
in the
those
streets.
people that are out there doing their peaceful protests, as we call it, are not the ones we want in positions making any decisions.
I try to have a talk with my son about this several times, because they always say, the thing I hear, especially from the younger generation, my son especially, I want to work somewhere where I'm appreciated. And I looked at him, I said, in business, the only way you're going to be appreciated by your boss is if you are the boss, if you're the owner of the company. Business works, they want you to do more and pay you less. That's how they make their money. You want to be appreciated? Start your own business. You want to be, the CEO of the company wasn't born a goddamn CEO. Very few people are like that. Bill Gates started in his goddamn garage as a fucking developed the first computer in a garage, for Christ's sakes. These people were not born CEOs. They worked for it. Yeah, there are lots of people, light skin, dark skin, they've all had to work for it. They had the desire to put in the work to get what they're at.
Perfect example of what I'm talking about. And I don't mean this as a bad way, but Kevin Tutchin's chiming in here. The bear gets poked both ways. Obviously, the bear gets poked both ways. But even you have to realize there is a 7 or 8 to 1 ratio difference. So keep poking the bear. That's what I'm saying. No matter how you like it, no matter how you look at this, there's a survival of the fittest. And, guess what? Right now, whether you like it or not, we are the fittest.
All I got to say is, something, deer would be extinct if it weren't for hunting regulations. No, you really want to become a deer with no fucking hunting regulations?
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, so you can't say the bear should be poked both ways. Unfortunately, I don't recall ever, having, things always go my way without me trying to make a path to go that way. Are you following me?
Dude, wouldn't it be great if everything went your fucking way? You didn't have to work for nothing?
All that white privilege that, I don't know, for some reason it fucking skipped me.
Tell me about it, man. That's why I must have gotten the wrong line for that one, because I've had to work my ass off for what I got.
And again, I have to keep saying, listen, let me finish this off. No matter how anybody says it or what you say, there are wealthier areas to live in, and things get, I guess maybe easier if you grew up in Grand Island, Amherst, or the Lackawanna, or the better off cities. You understand? You understand what I'm getting at? Where you didn't have the things that go around like in Niagara Falls.
But something? They still have worries. The only thing money creates is bigger worries. Right now, if you're like, we're poor people, you worry about where you're going to get the $20 to put gas in your tank. These people in like Grand Island, they're not worried about the $20 they got to put in their gas tank. They're worried about the $2,500 mortgage that they got to come up with. Right. So the more money you make, the bigger your problems are. Yep. They may not be the same problems we have on the same scale, but they still got problems like everybody else. Very few people in this world don't have those problems.
I get it. I get it, and I see that. I don't know. It's easier to sit back and
bitch and play the victim and expect everything handed to you.
Exactly.
I can't stand that shit. Get out and fucking do something. You need a ride to work? Call me, and I'll give you a fucking ride. Get up and do something.
Yeah.
The opportunity's there. It's just your lack of desire to take that opportunity. Yeah. I don't know. I just had to call him vent, dude.
No, that's cool. I appreciate it.
Good call.
And it's not about always calling and being negative. I try not to always be negative. I try not to talk. I don't know. Again, controversy. Brings attention, and that everybody thrives on it. If it's something good, like you said, that happens, nobody wants to hear that shit. They want to hear about all the bad shit, the juicy shit that's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How many people died in Chicago?
Right.
Culture of victims and outrage. It's a culture of victims and outrage.
Yep.
All right, fellas. I'm going to sit back on the side and keep watching the comments and listen to y'all talking. I'm glad you're still back and doing the show.
Thanks, brother.
That makes me happy. Tim. My Mondays aren't dead now.
All right, bro. Cheers. I'll holler at you next time I need some work done on my car.
Absolutely. You know the number, brother.
I know it. I know.
Yes.
Later.
1-800-HEATER. Well, we're working on a new plan here, Madman. We're trying to get our audience to help us with getting you to move a little more into the center.
I see it.
Yeah, we've been running that for a while. I think people are gonna. Oh, yeah.
I saw green.
Brett,
yes.
show your political persuasion and move to your right, because you are not a left guy by any means.
Funny.
All right, but no, I always having fun with you that way. It's kind of fun to do this. That was a good call. Last night's show was a very quick fill-in for the Women's Strong, and that's a funny show if you get a chance to watch it. But we do want to get people talking honestly like this. You and Tim just fired off some really good stuff. I'd like to hear a rebuttal to that.
I don't know, Peter, if there is excuses or a rebuttal, bro. You understand what I mean? I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear, other, everybody's chiming in now. You guys, it's against my rules to sit in the middle. I got to lean over here, and lean off a little bit now.
Go, Kim. Everyone's joining in. Yeah, Barb, everyone's piping in now. It's good. We'll get them.
You know what, John Fidel, and I was just throwing out Grand Island, because, people tend to be a little bit better off on Grand Island, and everybody knows that. So I think, do I think that everything is rosy on Grand Island? Of course not. It's not rosy everywhere. However, it's not Niagara Falls.
However.
Right.
Yeah, and Grand Island won't even let the panhandlers from here go over there. That happened, remember, back before the COVID crisis?
I remember it.
They were sending them back, man. There's lots of great places to panhandle over there.
I noticed our buddies, Ricky Frank and Chris Frank, haven't fucking called.
They haven't sobered up yet.
Yeah.
We'll be getting calls at midnight, you know it.
Yeah. I swear, if he calls me again at midnight, I'm going to go search him down. I am going to search him down.
I'll show you his address.
Okay. Hell, it's just going to be an appearance ticket anyways. I can take it. There's not a doubt in my mind that I will break him.
Or splash him.
Yeah. And cause you and Peter, you and Brett are pussies.
Oh, man.
Motherfucker, he don't know what a pussy is.
That's such a great call,
Look in the mirror. You look in the mirror, okay, I'm done with that.
Why don't we play it? We should play his call again and just do
play it.
Want to do cat noises?
Right, yeah, just listen to it.
But let's add cat noises, because that was really fun. Here's Ricky. Look at that. Here we go.
You know what? You and Brett are a bunch of fucking pussies. You know what? Because
I'm drunk.
You don't get back to nobody in that. And I'll tell you what. You can go in and talk all your shit.
Yeah.
But it's going nowhere.
Yes,
because you have no balls.
That's right, but you got to call us 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then you got mad because we wouldn't take his third call last week or something.
Oh, funny.
I know, Bill. Bill points out it's just terrible they would call you that late to just say that. I don't know if you heard, Bill, but I was talking with a little bit earlier about you getting calls late at night and people expecting you to respond at all hours.
I remember he was telling us that during one of the calls or something, right? Sure. That's why he's smart enough not to give me his number, because I'll write it down on every wall and shit, put it out everywhere. Here's Bill Kennedy's number. Call him.
Chris Fortin wants to know if you'll wear a mask at the match.
yeah, that's good. You know that's going to happen.
That's it. Should we want to take a 2-minute break and then come back for a wrap up, and we'll play the what everyone was waiting for today?
Sure.
Yeah, give me a second there, folks, and we'll make this worth your while, because we haven't given up on a certain sexual predator lawyer. And you can bet that those who condonated and abetted him in his predatory activities, their time is coming as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. You can't, it goes, with, that whole saying in changing thinking. I don't care what kind of clique you got going on, but, if you are, on the side of something that's going on wrong, then you're just as bad.
That's right. And, when you look at that case and what we've learned from all the texts we've read and all the letters we've seen, one of the things you realize is that there is a society within our community that cover up for each other. Judge Morinello and his attorney, Paul.
Paul Cambria. Listen,
said he was a nice boy.
Right. Listen, Peter, it goes for everybody. Like, if someone was running me down, you would stick up for me. You understand what I mean?
For $5, yeah.
It's just that click, that always goes. And I'm not trying to downplay, their scenario. So that's to be expected. It's to be expected, except when it's something as heinous as, sexual assault or something like that. Now, if it was, I don't know.
Broken window.
He smoked a joint. He said boob. I don't. You understand what I'm getting at? There's different things that I would expect you to stick up for me, and other things. How can I say it? You've heard me say it, I think, before. When I told my son, listen, right or wrong, I'm going to stick up for you until you get home. you know what I mean? And then we will discuss it.
Right.
Same with me and you. We won't argue out, wherever. But once we get, wherever we can, we'll argue,
sure.
and get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, but we're not afraid to do that.
Right.
That's this whole thing, like with Paul Cambria, he's a good boy. Well, he's gone on to do it repeatedly, and so and his uncle is so and so from city council. It's not a Tuma, but he's well connected. So mom and dad love whatever I do. I always say the old boys club in this city love a good rape.
Again, and not to downplay the whole scenario. If this shit is going on and his circle knows that it's going on, that isn't just a regular run of the mill thing. That's something where you say, hey, you're fucking out of here. Get the fuck out of here. We can't have that. We're not.
Well, one of his ploys that he would say to women, and we've seen this in several of the messages, where he'd say, we have a secluded room where we can go get together.
Yeah.
And his innuendo all the way through it is that something may happen in this secluded room.
Right.
So I sent him an email acting as if I was a potential client. I wanted the dinner and drinks option. And I thought maybe the secluded room would be a good place to build a recording studio. So there you go.
Yeah, there's some pornos.
Yeah,
you're right, Bill Kennedy, and that we would respect each other after the closed door discussions. You already know that. We've had our little poke fun at you. Doesn't mean anything. Sooner or later, everything comes out in the wash on how it's supposed to be. Always and all the time it happens. No matter you can't hide everything wrong all the time. On that note, I'm out.
You're out? I think we're all out here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It was great having you here today on behalf of the Madman and myself. Tune in on Wednesday night for Citizens United at 6 o'clock on Yowawa Media. And we'll just leave you with our opening video again because no one heard it on the first time through. But thanks again for coming out and being with us tonight. For your calls, everything you add into the show is important. All right? Speak up, folks.
Hang on. Let's I'm sorry, yeah, hang on. Yes, he's like, damn it, Brett. So Kevin Hudson, you're talking about the trees. I think, that the trees are the responsibility of the city, if they're, that's a good question. Maybe Bill Kennedy can answer that, real quick.
Yeah, remember, Bill's going to hear this in about 20 seconds.
Right, 20 seconds, right.
Yeah, but the trees, there is still a lot of misunderstanding. And I had to laugh when I saw that woman get up at council a couple of weeks ago when Chris Vaccio was the council Nazi. And no council for you. But when the woman said, I had no idea this was coming. Like, Terry Lasher Klein was out every week. People knew about it.
Right.
And, it's just that you can't plead ignorance. You've got to be aware of what's going on in your world.
All right, we'll talk about the trees. Excuse me. Next week.
You got it.
We'll get some answers for you, Kevin, all right? So make sure you chime in. Cheers, guys, and
Good
thanks,
night,
everybody.
Everyone.
Wow.